Hi, I want to introduce EVERGOODS Mountain Panel Loader 30-liter bag, or MPL 30. This is a re-release of one of our original products, and I just wanted to run through the features with you today. For those of you that are familiar with the first version, this isn't really a redesign, but more of an update based on our use over the past few years and also customer comments and input. So let's get through it. This is, like I said, the Mountain Panel Loader, so it's in our Mountain line. The textiles in this bag are a 420D nylon 6/6. That's on the shell, and the lining also uses the same fabric. This nylon is high tenacity, so it has very high tensile strength, and it has a really good strength to weight ratio. It's balanced weave, which means that the yarns in the warp and the weft have the same yarn count in both directions. So it has equal strength in both directions and really even sort of bias stretch characteristics. It's got kind of a rounded organic shape for outdoor, good for packing soft goods, and it's got really excellent fit through the back panel for kind of walking over uneven terrain in the backcountry or in the mountains. Our previous version had a built-in hip belt, which I think carried really nicely, but honestly made this bag maybe a little less useful for every day. So in this version, we've reduced that hip belt. There's still really excellent contour and fit throughout the lumbar area. And we've got this wedge in the yoke area for good shoulder and back contact. These wings here, there's a webbing belt that stabilizes the load, and these wings kind of hug the back and the lumbar nicely. The bag has an aluminum stay. It's 7075 series aluminum, so it's very light, and it's springy but very stiff. So it provides good support with lightweight. It comes pre-curved for your back, but users can adjust the curve if you like, or you can also remove it if you like. And that stay is mounted to an HDPE frame sheet, so a plastic frame sheet. So there's really good carriage and support. This bag comes with a sternum strap. You can install it this direction for a right-hand draw. The strap is adjustable up and down, and you can also take it off and flip it over for a left-hand draw if you're a left-handed user. And it's removable, so you can take it off if you don't want to use it. Additionally, this waist belt is removable. It's just a simple webbing belt, and it just unthreads from these mounts like so. So you can take it off if you're not using it, or it's easy to install if you're active riding a bike or skiing and want a little more stabilization. The bag also has handles. It has our side handle, so you can handle the bag this way. It's got a top handle, so you can handle the bag this way. Next to the handles are little loops that we've left open, so you can clip items here just quickly if you need to, just for temporary. We've repatterned the bottom of the backpack with a few more angles so that it sits up a little more easily than its predecessor. Let's talk about the pocketing. On the side of the bag, we built some really nice stretch pockets. This stretch woven is very abrasion resistant, comes out of the mountaineering apparel industry. And the way this is built is it's 2 layers, so the pocket goes up and turns over and comes back down. So you have 2 layers of this stretch woven, very durable. And then along the top edge, there's elastic that's encased inside the stretch. So this protects the elastic, but also lets the top edge of the bag, of the pocket, kind of be low profile when the pocket's empty. It gives it nice body and closure. We size these pockets to fit a 1-liter water bottle. And there's some little pleats in the bottom that can expand, so there's actually decent volume here for water bottle, hat, gloves, goggles. We also left a little cutout in the bottom corner here, just for passive escape of debris and moisture. There's a top pocket on the top lid of the bag, this lid pocket. This is a good place to keep things up high, like maybe glasses. There's also a key leash inside for quick access to your keys, but not getting lost in there. There's a headlamp. This is also a great place if you're skiing. You can throw goggles up here and just keep them kind of up high and safe. There's little sidewalls here, so when you open this pocket, you can get in and get access, but things stay contained and don't spill out. On the front of the bag is this panel pocket. This is a great place to put like an extra pair of gloves or a shell or a windbreaker. I've got gloves in here now. Inside this pocket is, so this pocket is double lined. You can see our lighter color lining fabric on the inside. And it's also understitched on both sides of the zipper. This keeps the fabric away from interfering with the zipper in your hand so that when this pocket opens, you can get in and out easily without interference. So double layer here for extra abrasion resistance. This pocket also has cutouts in the lower corner so that, again, dirt and debris and moisture can just kind of passively escape the bag. All of these pockets are oriented to work from this upright position, but also to work from the side position. So if you set the bag down on its side like this, you can get into all of these pockets from here. There's also a mesh pocket on the interior that's also accessible from the side. So this bag works really well on the body and vertically and also horizontally was the intention. In the main compartment has this U-zip that runs around the entire body of the bag. So this gives you a variety of opening options. You can just open from the top and kind of peek in here real quick. You can turn and open from the side, as I mentioned, to get in here like this. Or, of course, you can open the entire zipper and get access to the entirety of the load. This is great for just getting in and seeing everything, taking inventory, maybe packing or unpacking. This is a great position. So on the other side of this panel, I mentioned this mesh pocket. It's mesh here so that you can see the contents easily. The color of the lining is sort of a center gray, 50-50 mix between white and black. The idea being that colors that are close to black or close to white will stand out in contrast, and anything that's colored should stand out in contrast against the gray. So there's this zipper pocket for little items that you can see into. We also added a small pocket up top here. This is a great place to keep like a first aid kit maybe. It was also sized to fit like a wallet. You could put a phone in here or a passport. So this pocket is mounted up high so that when it goes up and everything else falls down, if you've got something fragile or delicate, it stays up high here and doesn't get interfered with. The placement of this pocket is such that the opening is near enough to the zipper that when you put something in and close this zipper, it prevents items from coming out. So it, in effect, has a closure. It stays secure, but it doesn't have an additional zipper or an additional snap or fastener that you have to deal with. It's just a simple pocket that stays secure just through placement. The backing panel, the divider between this pocket and the panel pocket has an ability to float slightly. So depending on the ratio of packing on the outside or on the inside, that divider can kind of flex. So if you're putting a lot of stuff in this mesh pocket, it can kind of come this way, and it shares volume just a little bit with this front pocket, so the loading can be flexible in that way. There's also a security pocket up top here. Same deal, the panel that backs this pocket also has volume, and it can float and share volume with this lid pocket. So it can drop down if the lid is really loaded, or it can flex upward if you've just got tons of stuff in this security pocket. So this is an opaque pocket. This would be a great place to keep like cash, phone, ID, just things that you want to just have access to but keep kind of secure. Okay. Let's just unload the rest here. On the back wall of this backpack is a stretch pocket that can hold a water bladder. There's a small hook at the top, small loop at the top where your bladder can fix to. It's also a fine place to carry books or notebooks. And it also will house a 16-inch MacBook Pro easily. There's a little bit of padding in between the layers of this stretch woven. So if you do have a tablet or some kind of device in here, it's just a little bit protected from the rest of the contents of the bag. On the side seams of this pocket, we used sort of an elliptical patterning that gives this pocket the ability to flex just a little bit. So if you're putting a lot of stuff in this mesh pocket, it can kind of come this way, and it shares volume just a little bit with this front pocket. So it So when you're wearing this bag, the backpack can continue to move while you're wearing it and be comfortable and conform to your back, even if you've got a computer on board. So it doesn't feel stiff in the back. It's still very comfortable to carry. This pocket also has cutouts in the lower corner that allow corners of a book or computer to kind of expand, or also dirt and debris to escape. So it has excellent laptop carry, but as I mentioned, this is the mountain bag. So it's really geared for hydration carry. Our hydration system is quite simple. There's two exits above the shoulder straps. So you just drop a bladder in, and then this hose just comes straight out of these exits. Let's see, we'll just throw a jacket in here as well for a little packing. Okay. So there's bladder exits on the right shoulder and the left shoulder. They're just tiny little low profile sleeves. They're bias cut, so they have just a little bit of stretch, but there's no Velcro, no elastic, no moving parts. They're totally passive. So your tube can just come out of there. You can use it. If you want to, you can stuff the tube back in to stow it. You could also stow that tube like underneath this sternum strap, or there's additional spaces in the sternum anchor here. If you wanted to use some webbing or one wrap or Velcro, you could stow it this way as well. The bag also has compression straps on the side. So if the load is small, you can dial this bag down and kind of keep the load kind of nice and tight to the back. Another nice thing about these compression straps is that they're outside of the zipper line. So even when these straps are engaged, you can still access the bag and use all the pockets without having to fiddle with these straps or undo them. We like the bag to stay tidy also. So on the end of the compression straps, we keep these little keepers, just a simple elastic loop. So it lets the strap out, so you've got plenty of length here. And then when you want to dial it down, so these loops are they're captive. They're just sewn into the edge of the strap. So they stay right where you need them. They can't get lost. And they just stay right where you want them. If you don't want to use these loops and this is too much fiddling around, you can just pop this over the end of the strap and just run it like this forever. Or if you do like to keep it really tidy, you can just wrap this strap up. And then you just take the loop and you flop it over the webbing. And now you're kind of just keeping it contained. Lastly, the logo patch on all of our bags is an embossed piece of Velcro loop. This can accommodate our high-vis patches. So if you want to add some visibility or just differentiate your bag from other bags, you can throw that on there. This is our updated Mountain Panel Loader 30.